Let's talk about some clubs doing some good business in the transfer window. Today, I want to talk about Swansea City. Swansea finished 11th in the Championship last season after a very impressive second half to the season, during which they went on a 5-game winning run. Here's their squad for their 3-3 draw on the final day against Oxford, and here's their squad after players were released and loan players returned to their parent clubs. Harry Darling was superb at centre-back for Swansea last season. He's now signed for Norwich. What you'll notice straight away from the lineup particularly is that Swansea have lost some experience. Let's take a look at their transfer activity. First of all, they've signed Bobby Wales from Kilmarnock. Now, I'm not going to pretend as if I know anything about him. All I know is his surname is very fitting for Swansea. This is potentially a 2 to 3 year development signing. They've also signed Zaydan Inusa from Swedish side BK Häcken. Again, I know nothing about Inusa, but apparently the fee for this transfer was significant. Similar to Bobby Wales, I know nothing about. However, the Swedish league is quite competitive and Häcken have been competing near the top for a couple of seasons now. Also, having watched a few highlights of Inusa, he looks very direct and very quick and very physical, which is really important for the Championship. Now to the signings that we know a little bit more about. Harry Darling's replacement is really important for Swansea. They've got Ricardo Santos from Bolton. He's been very impressive in League One for a few seasons now, and I think it is time for him to make the step up. However, the real strong replacement comes from Ipswich, Cameron Burgess. Now, I'm really surprised that Ipswich didn't want to keep Burgess. He was a big part of Ipswich's 2 promotion-winning sides, including from the Championship. And there's no doubt that he can perform at this level. A really, really good signing for Swansea. And I think a very suitable replacement for Harry Darling. But here's my favourite signing. Ethan Galbra has signed from Leyton Orient, a very versatile right-back/centre mid, who started his career out at Manchester United. He was very, very impressive for Leyton Orient last season, who'd done very well, got to the playoff final. And from my understanding, I think the fee reported for this was about 2.5 million. So when you put their signings together, the squad looks a little bit like this. Now, I've done my best here. I don't know exactly where each player plays. I don't watch Swansea week in, week out. I'm a Gillingham fan. So Swansea fans, could you tell me if I got any players wrong? I assume you don't have that many left midfielders. What is pretty obvious is that they do lack a lot of defensive depth. And potentially only one keeper. So the positives for Swansea, as I've said, they replaced Darling with some impressive signings. A lot of depth and versatility in midfield. And hopefully they can utilise the momentum from a good end to the season last year. In terms of the negatives though, I do think they still lack a 15-plus goal scorer. Cullen's not that man, and I'm not sure if Vipotnik is either. And however good their side is, there are a lot of other teams that are incredibly strong this season. So my prediction, I've got them in the top half. What are your thoughts, Swansea fans? Obviously there's still plenty of time left in the window.